Okay guys, Jordan with Paine Leather and Tool here. I'm going to try and do a quick tutorial on how to draw a proper oval. Now this is about the fourth take of this video that I've done, because at some point I screw up one way or another and then I have to stand around and try and fix my mistake. And I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long for just drawing an oval. But anyway, this is a very simple way to do an oval. In my opinion, I think it's the best. Ignore the holes that are on the paper here. That was on the back side. I'm just trying to conserve material here. But anyway, let's say that you're doing leather work. You need to cut out an oval for an inlay. Maybe you're doing a Stingray inlay on a bag, or you're doing some woodworking and you're making an oval frame for a mirror or a picture frame, and you have a specific size that you want it to be, but you don't know how to draw that oval without it being wonky, because it's really a pretty hard thing to do. If you've never tried to draw a perfect oval before, you know, especially, I mean, mathematically correct and proportionate, which is very difficult. This is my favorite way to do it. I think it's the best way to do it. It was taught to me by the person that I apprenticed in leather work with. He'd been using it for many, many years, and I think it works really good. So I'll try and get right to it. I'll make a note that underneath this paper is a big sheet of high-density polyethylene that sits on top of my bench. It's what I use to do my leather work, and so I can cut and drive tacks and nails and whatever else through it, and it's not going to hurt it. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute. But let's get right to it. So you want to draw an oval. Let's say you want to draw one approximately. You're like, oh, okay, I have this area that I want this inlay, or I want to cut out this shape. Let's say we want to do a 12-inch long by 6-inch deep or high oval. Give yourself a baseline that's at least the distance of, or at least the length that you want the oval to be, and then go ahead and do a right angle, so essentially a y-axis, there. So now we've got this. We want it to be 12 inches, so if we're going from the center here, that's only going to be 6, right? So let's take this guy, and we're going to do this all approximate. We're going to do it quick and dirty, and try and make sure that this video is not too long. So there's our half of our 12, half of our 6, right? Get yourself a compass of some sort that holds a pencil, or like this one, this was modified to hold a big pen. This is really handy, by the way. If you like this idea, feel free to steal it. It works great. It just involves getting a larger size tube and brazing or welding it onto an old broken set of dividers, or one that holds a pencil. Anyway, you're going to take the measurement, the 6-inch measurement, which is half of the 12 inches, on the x-axis, and you're going to lock down your compass. You're going to come up here to the 3-inch mark above 0 that we made, and you're going to come down to the x-axis and make 2 marks from there. So once again, this is 6 inches wide because that's half of our 12. We're going to put it up here at the 3-inch mark above 0, and we're going to make 2 hash marks on the x-axis. Pretty simple, right? It's not difficult at all. And let's see. So now you're going to want some nails. I've been using these little guys. They work fine. They have a nice shoulder on the head, which keeps, and you'll see why that's important in a minute, but it keeps a string from coming off there. So anyway, go up to the top at that 3-inch mark, drive that in. It needs to be pretty firm. This one's not as important as these two, but just for consistency's sake, do the same thing. So we're putting in these 3 nails, and you could use a nail, a screw, really you could use probably anything. I think a smooth nail works best. I wouldn't use too short of a tack, or a brad nail that didn't have a shoulder. So anyway, now that we've got those 3 in there, what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of string. Now I'm going to take just a piece of, I think this is 277 polyester nylon thread, and we're going to tie it around here. Now this is the tricky part, because the tighter you get this string, and especially if you're using string that has no stretch in it, which is what you want no stretch, and you want it to be tight. The closer to those two things you get, the more accurate the oval is going to be when we're all said and done to that 6 and 12 dimension that we wanted. If you have really stretchy string, or you can't get this tight, which has been a little bit of a trouble for me, the trick is getting it tight, holding this center, and I'm just doing essentially kind of a variation of a square knot here. So let's see. Okay, well, that wasn't super tight, but you're going to get the idea. Once you get this tight around here, now, like I said, in a perfect world, you'd have a tight triangle, but this will still work to show you what I'm talking about. Once you get this tight around here, you're going to pull out this top nail. Now you've got your string, and you've got your, oh, this is pulling. Let's see here. This might not be the best string because it doesn't like knots, but the problem is the other string I had was cotton and it was too stretchy. So anyway, and you see this is actually a lot larger than where we wanted, but I think for the purpose of the demonstration, it's going to show you what you want to do. So once you get that triangle of string tied, you pull out your top brad or nail. Then what you're going to do is put your marking instrument, whether it's a pin or a knife, or excuse me, pin, a knife if you were using it on wood. You could use a pencil, whatever, it doesn't matter. Stay inside the string, hold it tight, and use the string's tension as your guide. So when you hit if you hit the knot on there, it'll mess up a little bit, but the nice thing about this method is the nails stay on the inside, and all you're going to be doing with your pin is making the oval on the outside. So this ended up being a little off from our original dimension. This ended up at 9 and about 14. So you see what I mean. Most of the time I'm not doing super exact measurements for these. I just need something about this size, and so I'll kind of guesstimate it, and usually it's good for my purposes. I like this method because, like I said, it gives you a mathematically correct oval. It looks good, it's pleasing to the eye. You know, sometimes if you try and draw, some people will try and draw like one quadrant of an oval and then flip it. The problem is you end up getting like, you know, like they end up being like pointy, and so they look like a football or whatever. This way works better. If you're interested in, you know, the math of it, you know, you've got your X measurement over here, you've got your Y measurement that you want it to be, and basically what you do is you take the X, you go from the Y, you make these marks, and so, you know, you're doing half of X here, half of Y there for what you want it to be, and you're simply using a compass to draw your marks and use the string and letting the string do all the complicated part for you. So anyway, that's how I do it. Hopefully that made sense. You know, I know, like I said, it's not the only method out there. There's certainly other methods. This is the one I like the best. You guys can take it or leave it or whatever. If you have any input or questions or comments or criticism, feel free to let me know in the comments. Be sure to like the video. Please subscribe to our channel. I'm going to be posting up a lot more stuff with our leather goods, some kind of reviews and overviews of some of the stuff that we make. I've got some tools that are going to be coming down the pipeline pretty soon, but we're in the process of moving house, moving shop, so we're a little busy, so bear with us on that end. But hopefully this was informative, and yeah, check us out on Instagram. It's at Payne Leather and Tool, and then Facebook is facebook.com/PayneLeatherandTool. Our website is www.PayneLeatherandTool.com. On there I've got some leather goods, and I'm always adding stuff to it. I don't have a lot on there because I just recently got it up, but I also have some antique tools on there that I've restored that are for sale. We've got some posters, I've got some different things, so go check that out if you're interested. And yeah, looking forward to hearing if this helped anybody out, or if anybody's seen this method before. I'm not sure where this came from exactly, but like I said, my teacher had known about it for many, many years, probably 40 or 50 years, and he passed it on to me, and I use it quite frequently. So anyway, thanks for checking it out. Let us know if we can do anything for you. Thanks. Bye.